When we started building our RV solar system, we thought we had everything figured out, but we discovered 4 gadgets that completely changed our setup. Today, we're showing you what they are and why they matter.
So we have a multi-plus inverter on a Victron system. This is our setup. It's a little different than most because we have a generator, propane fuel. It came pretty much loaded with the solar panels. This cord here going to the roof. We have our solar disconnect, 30 amp 2-pole breaker going into the MPPT. And
Hey Cody, what's this over here? What's that for? What did you do that for?
we have a trickle charger. So this battery for the generator is isolated from the rest of the system. And that cord there, we fished up and through the camper.
So the lumen here, Cody and them guys put that on. They fished this green extension cord up through the body and then back down through there so we can trickle charge the battery, so we never get to a place and have a battery that isn't fully charged for our generator or anything. We're going to show you that here in a second in the truck. This here is for the DC to DC charger, so our batteries will be all charged as we're going down the road. I don't think I've ever seen this, ever, on any video I've watched. I would love some comments on it. And oops.
We got a little,
oh yeah, we've got a little
promo
advertising there for see window. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And then these will just hang when we're at the park. Cody's firing up the touch screen as we do this demo. They did an amazing job taking apart the cabinet. It's mounted beautifully. As we can see from the solar right now, we have 175 watts. It's pretty cloudy out. Our load in the trailer right now is going to be at 9 to 10 watts. As you can see, we have lights on in the camper. It gives us the temperature, what our voltage is. It's running absolutely amazing.
Yep, you can also go through here and look at, there's a temperature or thermometer in the cabinet where the generator is to monitor the temperature of inverter. That's going to produce some heat when the sun is out. And then there's also inline fans in that cabinet that will come on at a set point.
We did a circular motion in there because the generator has a hole that goes through the floor. So we used the old tube that came for the lead acid battery, and we kind of made it a circle wind tunnel. So when it's throwing air out of the cab, or out of that compartment, excuse me, and it's pulling from the bottom where the generator is, it creates a circle like a wind tunnel in there to pull fresh air in and exhaust out old air, hot air. So it's kind of a neat system we put in there also. Pretty good for some DIY guys who've never done this before. Shows the knowledge and the willing to do something a little bit different than ever done before. So let's go now and fire up the generator, and let's see how it runs on the panel here.
And just an overview of this screen, we have the grid, which is disconnected, the solar panels, the solar yield, those are the panels on the roof. This is the alternator, which is actually the pickup truck alternator. We can show that later on. You see the inverter and the battery percentage, and then that's your load for the camper.
Excellent. Yeah, let's we'll fire up the generator here in a minute, and we'll show you that.
Here we go. We're gonna fire up the generator. You can see on the screen here, the grid is disconnected. There's a transfer switch in the camper, so that'll transfer from grid to generator power. So there's a delay in the transfer switch in the camper that waits for the generator to warm up before it takes on the full load of what the RV output is. You can see our load went up because we turned on all of the AC breakers, and the generator is producing 2,500 watts. We're using 650, and the solar panels are still charging the batteries. The leftover, you can see, is going into the batteries, so the generator is charging the batteries as well.
That's pretty awesome. So solar's still working, generator's doing 2,500 watts, and right now we're using 644 watts in the camper from the lights and stuff we have turned on outside and underneath the underbelly. That's amazing. Let's go hook up the truck and try out the alternator and show how that works next. Plug in the DC to DC charger, then we'll go look on the panel and we'll see how it's charging. So what did you actually install there, Cody?
So we've got 2-gauge copper going to the front to this port that was supplied, and that's ran across the frame, protected in loom on the truck rails there, and we cut this into the side of the bed, and then so this goes fish through the camper to the DC to DC charger.
Let me go show that real quick before you explain anymore. So the DC to DC charger, if you can see my fat finger, is right here. Okay, and in a couple minutes you should see that this light, see it's starting to talk, it saw the bulk. Here in a minute, it takes a second, it will turn solid blue to know that it's connected and charging the batteries. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes, so what I'll do is I'll cut that in as soon as it does it. There it goes. Got it, Cody? So, you see how it turned blue? We'll speed that up for you. It takes 3 or 4 minutes, and it's really a safety thing that Victron is doing to make sure we're powered up right. So, as soon as you plug that in, by the time you walk and get in the truck and hit the drive gear, you'll be fully lit up and charging. So check out, we just plugged the DC to DC inverter in, and let's see if we're generating. This will be happening while we go down the road. Well, would you look at that? What's going on, Cody?
So we got 500 watts coming off the alternator on the truck. Still have around 630 watts coming off the panels, and we are charging the batteries, and we got 800 watts of AC load. So there is a little delay with the system for protection reasons, to protect the truck when you first plug the truck into the DC to DC charge.
One more thing I want to show people that are thinking about this system. So when you come to a campground and the generator's not running, see the sun just came out, that went up for 140 to 600 watts of solar. It's still cloudy out a little bit. But let's say you got a 30 amp service, you're in a state park, you'd hit this or disconnect, then you go over to 30 amp, or if you're in 50 amp, you'd put which one that you are on so you're getting proper feed into the trailer. I just wanted to show people that's set up for that. Okay.
So we have 2 volt go batteries. They talk daisy chain with Cat 6 between them, and then that also goes to the brains of the system with one of those Cat 6s. There's a 400 amp fuse.
Let's go back there and show them that 400 amp fuse back there.
In between. And then because the terminals are exposed, we heated up some plexiglass and screwed it on there so everything's safe. And then these holes here, there's a on-off button on the batteries, so we can still access that.
Excellent. So we also, one of our concerns, or one of my concerns was, are these going to get enough ventilation? And by keeping the ends open on each side, doesn't allow anything to get to both the positive and negative to short anything out, and it allows a lot of airflow to go in there. So that's going to be awesome. And these are 400 amp hour batteries, so now we're going to have a total of 800 amp hours. And the nice thing is, you can see we have some more space over there, right? We could add another battery in here, so we could have 1200 amp hours, probably the most we'll ever need for boondocking. Why don't you show us what you guys added over here that's kind of unique?
So the system comes with some terminal blocks that if something was to fail with the inverter, because the power to the MDP, or the main electrical panel inside the camper, goes through the inverter. So if something was to fail with that, what we can do is unplug these, and we can bypass the solar inverter to and then those will plug into each other. Everything is touch safe here, and it's fairly easy to access.
So for layman terms like me, and I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, so if we have a problem with our inverter, we have some short out in our solar system, this allows us to disconnect from the whole solar system, right?
Correct.
And be able to go to shore power
or generator.
Or generator, that's awesome. Or generator, and it kind of is a bypass to the solar. Something that I haven't seen done, something that we did on this project as an add-on. We're all about safety. Cody and Chad at CE Window Electric did an amazing job. They went above and beyond. Everything that you see is done to perfection in the thought out process of the cord and the trickle charger, and we got a couple other things that are going to blow your mind that we did. So let's go on, look at a couple more things. Let's go into, we're going to show you our first gadget that Cody did. It's pretty amazing, never seen anything like it before. We'll start on the truck, and then we'll go back in underneath the cabinet. So what do we got now, Cody?
So now we have the AC cord that'll plug into the truck bed receptacle. This is factory on this truck.
So that plugs in there. So everything's in aluminum. That sits there. We're going down the road. Everything should be perfect. You have to go actually, Cody, and on the dash, you'll see a thing that looks like a plug. You'll turn that on. That went green, Cody?
That is.
Okay, so let's go over here. Oh, look at that. Now do you see that green charger over there? What Cody and Chad did is they put in a 1.5 amp
Trickle charger.
And that's all hardwired. And that goes right down into our battery. So when we get on site, if we left something on in the camper or we had any drawdown, this battery is not going to be dead because it's trickle charging as we go down the road at 1.5 amps. Victron, or the VoltGo batteries, are being charged by the DC to DC charger, which is right up there. And also the solar is also charging the batteries. So if it's raining out, we should be 100% charged when we get to our campsites.
Yeah, and there's some redundancy to the system. This generator battery is isolated from the rest of the system, so that if something was to fail electrically or the batteries were to fail, that you still have generator power or shore power, and that battery will not be drained down by the rest of the failure.
Excellent. Yeah, fancy. We're going to do a dual camera view at the same time. I got Cody in the front, me in the back. Let's explain what this is here. For all you boondockers, this is a macerator pump. So it ties on, so when we're out boondocking, we'll be pumping our waste into a bag system, which I'm going to be doing a video on next week of our bag system and how it works. But usually you'd have to carry a battery over here to power that, and it really becomes a nightmare because, you know, as we age, carrying around those lead acid batteries kind of hurts. Cody, what did you do?
So this came with a factory harness with a switch on it, and we spliced in a 2-pin DC connector. This connector we can plug in right here.
Let me go on the back side. Oh, no, you're good.
To this port. This port on the other side of that is some 10 gauge wire that runs to a fuse block that's protected up front. And when you plug this in, the port there,
and that baby turns on and runs, and we start pumping. What else could we do with that if we were putting in some water right here?
So we have a water pump as well with the same 2-port connection on it.
Yeah.
That could also plug into there.
Yeah, you don't have to plug that in, that's fine. But that will plug right in there and work. And we got one more step with this. We'll show them what else we can do with that water pump, because normally that water pump's probably going to be on the tailgate of the truck. So let's take that water pump right over and let's show them.
So we have a 7-pin trailer connector that we wired in to this same 2-port DC connector.
Yep.
And that'll plug into this. And And this also has a factory switch on it.
Look at that. So we can pump from the truck. Excuse my head, we got a little close, both of us. We can pump from the truck. We can pump from the camper. I think we got it all set up, ready to go.
We have some additional cord ends. We have alligator clips with the same port, and a 12-volt cigarette lighter, same port. When you're building these, you want to make sure that the positive is the insulated prong on the line side, because if this was to touch the frame and that was the positive, you would have sparks.
Yeah. Hey, let's check one more thing. I almost forgot. Probably the most exciting thing out of this whole solar build, if you know me and my fishing desires. Cody, why don't you take that out, and I won't look at you. Take that thing out of what you built, and let's show them what we're gonna, let's show them our last gadget that we did to try to help out me in the future RVing full time. So Cody, what do we got right here? What is that thing right there? Is that for conduit for wiring?
Yeah, that's for your hoozy dunner.
For your hoozy dunner.
Yeah.
So we got some big wire going in there. Does that go with the solar?
That is extra cost to the customer here, but we do
have. What do you got right there?
A fishing pole.
What do you got right there?
That'll slide in here. And
look at that.
Then we got a nice little bungee here, and that'll go on the back side, and we're ready to go fishing.
Look at that. You didn't see that one coming, did you, YouTube family? Solar project gone wild. Pretty wild. They did an amazing job. I don't know if anyone will appreciate how hard this project was. First time that they had ever done a solar project like this. And I think it came out amazing. I see stuff in here that I've never seen on any other solar project. I hope people share this and like this because there's some really cool ideas. I hope some solar installers see what we've done and duplicate it, because who wants to carry around the big heavy lead acid battery to run our macerator pump, to run our pumps for our water filter, or our water pumps, so when we're putting fresh water in this camper? This is awesome. We are 2.5 weeks away from going full time. Check out our other videos. We just did our budget video up here, and that budget video will show you exactly what our budget is at launch time, or what we feel it will be. We'll be doing a budget every month, and that will show what actually costs living to live on full time on the road at 57, being retired. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Thank you.